What is up, YouTube? I'm back with another episode of the Brooklyn Nets MyGm. This is Captain Marvelous, the captain of this ship. How you all doing today? What we're going to do today is we're going to sim quite a few games here, up until the Washington Wizards game, and then we are going to simulate with Simcast that Wizards game, so we can make sure that they lose because we have their pick and we're trying to nurture that pick to become a top 5 pick. First, let's look at the scouting. We started the scouting already. I don't know if I showed that before, but what my philosophy is, I know about Ben Simmons, I know about Jaylen Brown, I know about Chris Dunn, Brandon Ingram, Jamal Murray I know a little bit about. I know about this boy Scal. I know that he's good at least. So I'm not really going to try to spend a lot of time trying to scout these guys. Ones I'm going to try to scout are guys who I don't know. So Scal, I'm going to scout a little bit more because I don't know him that well. I'm going to scout these guys down here. And yeah, there's five abilities to scout. Excuse me, 5 players I can scout. And I'm going to scout starting from number 6 and on back because I know about these top 5 guys basically already. Also know about Dragon Bender. I know Czech Diallo is a pretty solid power forward. He's not amazing, but he's pretty solid. Dragon Bender is a little bit more than solid. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm just going to go for the guys I don't already know. And we're we're nurturing that Washington Wizards pick, man. We want that to be a top 5 pick. So we're not doing great, doing about what I expected. Losing 2, win 1 seems to be about how we're doing so far this season. Okay, they want us to change the strategy to play against Karl-Anthony Towns. So protect the paint for defensive focus and put the offense on patient offense. We're gonna run in transition for defensive rebounding and physical play for defensive aggression. All right, let's see what you got, Tony Brown. And we lose that game, so okay. Now, for whatever reason, waiting on the saves, waiting on the saving. There we go. For whatever reason, whenever I change it for one specific team, it seems to change it for everybody. I mean, for the general game plan, which is bad. So I'm not sure what that's about. But I'm going to put it back to average. And we see here Mike Conley is our first scoring option and Brook Lopez is our second. One of the reasons for that is because if you look at the player contracts, Mike Conley is going to be a free agent this summer, which we knew that when we got him. But I realized afterwards that there might be a problem with that. Because our picks, we're hoping that Wizards pick is a top 5 pick, but the backup plan is if it's not a top 5 pick, we're going to try to trade upwards. So we're going to try to trade up from the top 5 pick to maybe, or from maybe the 10th pick to the 5th pick, or from the 20th pick to the 10th pick. But to do that, oftentimes you have to give up players because we don't have that many picks to trade anyway. So we have to give up players. But you can only trade players in the off season that are signed for the next year. So if you look on our team, we only have Brook Lopez and Rondé, Chris McCullough, and this guy who are signed for the next year. Actually, everybody else is either going to be completely a free agent or somehow some type of option, either team or player. And team or player options, during the draft, you haven't picked those up yet, so they're not technically on the team. So we wouldn't be able to trade any of our players in a move to move up in a draft spot. So that would leave us in kind of a bad spot if we need to do that. So we want to get Mike Conley to resign before the deadline for the contract extension, so that we could possibly trade him over the summer, to move up to get a higher pick. So we need to make him happy, and one way to make him happy is let him score a lot of points and make him be the focal point of the offense. So I'm thinking ahead, man. I'm not taking this GM job lightly. And not a chance will we trade Brook Lopez. So fan interest goes up, so that's good. And Brook Lopez is happy. Hope you asked that about Mike Conley too, so I could say, absolutely no, we will not trade Mike Conley, and then maybe he'll be happy too. So we're gonna follow the advice here. And we're going to simulate this game. And so we go down big early. Okay, so that's not good. That's not good. We only scored. We down by 4 in the fourth quarter. That's okay. Come on, Scout. Don't lead us wrong, man. Don't lead us wrong, Scout. Do not lead us wrong. Okay, we go up big. We go up by 15. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, we're up by 8. Come on, we got this. Yes. And we win by 2 against the Washington Wizards to keep them beaten down and downtrodden. Let's look at the box score here. Brook Lopez had a big night with 35 points, only 4 rebounds though, so that's not good. Shot very efficiently, so that's good. Mike Conley had 19 points, 8 assists, turned the ball over 6 times. His turnovers are a problem. Let me see what's going on with this man in these turnovers, man. His playmaking is an A-, so he really shouldn't be turning the ball over that much. Let's see if there's something here where it mentions their propensity for turning the ball over, because goddamn. This man seems to be turning the ball over a lot. He doesn't try to. Okay, he does a driving crossover a lot. That potentially, but I mean, it doesn't seem like he does anything crazy. And he's not doing no crazy post moves. He does a flashy pass every once in a while. Okay, you know, a little bit more than average. Oh man, I don't know, man, because you know these tendencies, these are things they tend to do. So it's a good thing if you're building your team to check the tendencies, because you see here he has a tendency to do an alley-oop pass more than a normal point guard. So if you have a big man who's really good at alley-oops like Anthony Davis or Blake Griffin, you want to put him with a point guard who's going to throw alley-oop passes, because especially if that man has like the badge, posterizer or whatever badge makes him good at dunking, then you want to have teammates who are in synergy. So if he's good at throwing alley-oop passes and the other guy is good at making them, and you want them to have the tendencies, and then they're going to do it more often, you're going to score more points in the computer, because that's the algorithm. The computer's going to see this player's good at throwing alley-oops, this player's good at catching them, is going to make it like they were throwing alley-oop in the game, and then you're going to score more points. Rather than if they were bad at throwing alley-oop passes, and they were still to have tried because the other guy's good at making them, then you might lose out on some points there. But just a little tidbit for you. And Lance had a pretty solid game, so that's what's up. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We see that Brook Lopez didn't have a lot of rebounds, but everybody else made up for it, because look at 4, 6, 3, 6, 9, 3. So everybody else kind of made up for his rebounding, so that's what's up. So things are going pretty okay right now, pretty okay. Let's check out the standings. I believe we have the Hawks picked, so the Hawks are not doing great, so that's good to hear. They're not doing awful, but they're not doing great. And then we got the Wizards, who are doing even worse than us. So let's get it. That's what's up. And then the Warriors, who are at the top of the conference. Yep. Normally I play this game. The Warriors are not the number 1 seed. They're usually like 3 or 4. They're in the mix. They're always in the playoffs usually, but they're not usually always number 1. But of course here, this time I'm simulating it. I'm trying to, win a chip for Brooklyn, and they're going to be number 1. So what are you going to do? So I'm going to sim a few more games. Simcast, and the team chemistry is going up a lot, so that's good. That's what I like to see. Team chemistry is at 33, and I will follow the scout's advice here for the rotations, and we'll simulate this game. Okay, so we're not doing very good against the Miami Heat. All right, we take a lead, come back. All right, so our bench kind of pulled us back in there a little bit. Got a tight game going on here in the third quarter. And it looks like we're going to lose this one. Yep. They pull away the Heat. Something I just heard, a rumor, I literally just heard a few minutes ago. Chris Bosh, who they mentioned scored 28 points here to lead them over our team, is that Chris Bosh is he pulled out of the All-Star game, actually, if you didn't know, because he had a pain in his leg, like a hamstring or something like that. Something was wrong with his calf, but they're saying that it might be connected to the blood clots that he had last year, and it could be a very serious thing that he's having, that type of same injury in his leg where he had the blood clots before. So, thoughts and prayers go out to Chris Bosh. Hope that he's okay. So it's about to be, what is it, January? So I like to play one of the games around New Year's. I like the commentary for it. So maybe we play this game against the Celtics here. This game here January 2nd, so we'll sim just until then. We can get Lance Thomas for Shane Larkin. The Knicks would not do that deal because they let Shane Larkin go for basically nothing this summer, so that doesn't make any sense. Even though they need a point guard, because they're trying to trade for a point guard in real life. Okay. So I'll have the coach handle that. I love how I said the decision's up to me, and I just say, hey, have the head coach take care of it then. My decision is to have somebody else make the decision. And we beat the Magic. So I think Mike Conley's really helping the team out. If you notice, I feel like we lost a lot of our depth in trading for Mike Conley because, you know, before we had Marquise Morris and Darrell Arthur, which I felt helped a lot because Darrell Arthur could play small forward and Marquise Morris could play center. So you had two versatile guys who could shoot out to the three-point line from small forward to center position to play alongside Brook Lopez. And now let's check this report right quick. But then we traded one of them away, and now we just have Darrell Arthur. And you know, especially his ability to play center, I thought was important in terms of letting us be able to have some better matchups if Brook Lopez is not on the floor. But unfortunately, we had to trade him away, and we traded away a couple of other players that I really liked. But we had to do it for the sake of getting a really good point guard, because you know you got to give up something to get a good player. So it was unfortunate, and I feel like the team, you know, doesn't have much depth right now because, you know, this man Damian Rudez is in our rotation. You know, I mean, Chris Anderson. Shout out to Chris Anderson. He's doing his thing. He's a 73 overall. I thought his overall was actually lower than that, to be honest. Because if you notice the red arrows pointing down, that was because the team chemistry is low. When the team chemistry is low, then it kind of makes everybody be unhappy because they're not playing well. And then when you're not playing well, you're gonna lose games, and it makes you be even more unhappy. So it's a vicious cycle. But yeah, when the team chemistry is low, everybody's overall kind of goes down, and that's the cause of those red arrows. But we see now the team chemistry is going up, and we're winning games. So guys overall, the guys overall and their arrows are pointing up for the most part, except for guys who are just unhappy for whatever reason. Isaiah Ken, he's not getting minutes. I ignored him, so it makes sense that he's not happy. And Darrell Arthur, I don't know why he's not happy. Yeah, I mean, he feels fine, so whatever. Maybe it's just take him a little bit longer to catch up to where everybody else is at. But that's cool. So next episode, we're going to play a game against the Boston Celtics. You know, we're going to play like that New Year's game. And until then, then after that, we'll probably try to sim. Maybe we'll simulate. Yeah, we'll probably try to simulate until close to the All-Star break, I suppose. I'm not gonna try to play a lot of games this year because the team's not very good. I know I'm probably not gonna win, you know, especially on a superstar difficulty, which is not the difficulty I usually play on. It's gonna be hard for me to win the game. So I'm not gonna try to sim too many games, but I might, you know, I'm gonna play this game against the Celtics, and then I'll probably simulate with Simcast this game with the Hawks because we have their pick. If it looks like it's a close game, I'll jump in and try to beat them. But we'll do that afterwards. Next episode is going to be a game against the Boston Celtics. Please leave a like, guys. Please comment on this video. Please let me know how you felt about it. Give me commentary. Give me criticism. Let me know what I could do to make it more enjoyable for you guys. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I could definitely use the subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, this has been Captain Marvelous. Peace.